welcome to the vlog. Today we are making Katsu Curry. So basically I cook this all the time at uni. I actually think it is quite easy to make. Like, the steps are fiddly when it comes to making the katsu chicken. But if you look past that, with the curry roux, that's really easy, and the vegetables are really easy. So yeah, let's go make katsu curry. I love this brand, and I love the medium hot flavor. But I'm really struggling to find this brand, even back in Malaysia. So I bring it with me because it's cheaper, and because I really struggle to find the brands I like. So basically, this is a brand I love, but I could only find one box in Malaysia. So I brought back another brand, which is like S&B. The words are written in Japanese. So that's the other brand I like. I also have tried Golden Curry, but I've never been able to find their medium hot flavor, and I didn't love their hot. I don't like any brands hot. I even tried Kokumaru's hot, and I don't like it. So yeah, this is the one I like. If you can find it, buy it. But really, I recommend any brand with medium hot flavor, because I think this tastes the most like proper katsu curry, like proper Japanese curry does. So yeah, come make it with me. So I know right now you may be thinking to yourself, Priya, I don't have the time to make katsu curry. You do, because what you do is you make this on a Sunday evening, like I am today. That's sticky. Sunday evening, when you have time, you take your time and you make it. It lasts you like 5 to 6 meals. Like, I will eat this for multiple days. Run out of rice? Add it to noodles. Run out of chicken? Have it vegetarian. If you have those hot pot meat packets, cook the hot pot meat and put it with it. I have this recipe. Once you have the curry and katsu chicken, you can use them for so many different purposes separately and together. It is worthwhile as a meal because it goes further than you expect. So, no excuses, because this will save you time for the next 3 to 4 days. It's not like I'm asking you to make this Wednesday when your lecture ends at 6 and just got home. You make this on a Sunday night, preparing yourself for the rest of your week. Vegetable-wise, katsu curry is simple. It is kind to you. You need 1 onion. Some people like to use white onions. I love red onions. I use red onions. 1 onion, 1 potato, 1 carrot. Now, I will add peas later on, but you don't have to. It's up to you what you want to put in. These are the base vegetables. That's it. So easy. You can't complain now. Boom. There you go. All my vegetables are already cut. Now, I will say your biggest enemy might be carrots. So I like to cut them into kind of thick slices and then cut them in half, because you do not want to be sitting around waiting for your carrots to cook, because your potatoes will cook at a decent pace. Onions cook, carrots, they're slow boils, and so you want to have them at a decent size, otherwise you will be waiting ages for them. Okay, so now we've cut all our veggies, we're gonna deal with our chicken. So you may be thinking oh, when you get it at a restaurant, it's one big piece that gets cut up. Fine, absolutely fine. Personally, I struggle with that. I worry my meat isn't gonna be cooked all the way through. It really stresses me out to take one giant piece and just cook like that. Also, I buy chicken breasts. I buy chicken breasts. They're really thick. So I don't like that. So what I like to do is I cut the chicken breasts into slices. Just they don't have to be small slices, so they can be decently sized, but it's just making your life a bit easier, because you won't be so worried that, oh no, my chicken might not be cooked all the way through. You won't have that worry, because your chicken isn't huge, your piece isn't ginormous. It will cook at a decent pace. See, just not as thick, not as much worry. And you know what? If you're really confident to cook your chicken as one big piece, or you have thighs, so it's slimmer, then go straight ahead. That is so cool. Personally, I can't do that. It stresses me out too much. So I do it the other way. I do it this way. And also I like it because I find I like am more careful about my portion sizes with the chicken. Instead, like if I had a piece of chicken breast and then cut it up, I think I could convince myself I could eat all of it when I can't. And then I feel like nauseous because I ate too much. But this way I don't eat it all because I can see it as like slices of chicken and I know how much I can eat. And then I eat the right amount so I don't leave feeling sick or anything. And then I have more leftovers. So it's like useful so that you don't accidentally convince yourself you could eat more than you can. So yeah, but some of the pieces come out a lot smaller than others, and that's fine. I just take more pieces at the end of it, you know? It's not a big issue. But really do whatever works for you, because like it's your chicken. Okay, what are we gonna need for making our katsu chicken? We need panko breadcrumbs, flour, and eggs. All very easy ingredients to find. Okay, panko breadcrumbs, Asian store, I would recommend. That's the easiest place to find those. But all the other ingredients, very easy to find at all your shops. Okay, this is the setup I have. We have egg. I always start off with 1 egg. You can always add more. Don't want to waste. And for reference, I have 2 chicken breasts cut up. And then we have flour and then panko breadcrumbs. And there's the sliced chicken ready to go. And I have a Tupperware on the side just ready to put the chicken in after we're finished pankoing them. So yeah. So what I do, I use chopsticks because I find it easier. If you can't use chopsticks, that's fine. You can use a fork or anything. So what you can do first is mix up your egg. You want it whisked. Don't just have it as like a unwhisked egg. That'd be weird. So you whisk up your egg. And then what you're gonna do, and 1 egg probably won't be enough. Like I can see that now. But there's no point putting 2 if you're using such a small amount of chicken. Anyway, so you take your chicken, you put it in your egg, flip it around, make sure it's all covered. Then from the egg, you transfer it to your flour. You cover it in your flour, make sure it's all covered once again. And then from the flour, you actually transfer it back into the egg. Flip it, covered, make sure everything is covered. You don't want to see any non-eggy sides. Then from the egg, now we go into the panko breadcrumbs. So make sure you get loads, nice coverage. You don't want it to be too thickly breadcrumbed though, because that can have like, if you don't cook all the batter through, like all the breadcrumbing through later, or like you can taste a lot of breadcrumb when it's really thick. So yeah, all done, easy like that, and just put it in your separate Tupperware, ready for when all your pieces are done. Easy peasy. Okay, so we finally got all our chicken breaded. That does take time, I know. It is the whole dipping, egging, dipping, panko breadcrumbs. It's a process. So now what I do is I take a break and I wash up any bowls I used for that process because I will need them later. I don't own that much. I don't own that many bowls. I don't know about other uni students, but I own very little. So I'll wash up, and that is also me taking a little break so that I don't get tired out by dinner. Okay, so now everything's ready. I use my wok to cook the curry, and I use my pan to fry the chicken. And you also want to remember that you need to make like a base for this. So I'm going to be making rice, and I usually will set the rice off like once the curry starts boiling, because that usually means there's like 15 to 20 minutes left of cooking, and that's usually enough time for the rice to finish cooking. So yeah, just remember we're multitasking here, girlies, so just remember to set off your rice. So I add a thin layer of oil, and then you can see bubbles on the bottom, but to check that the oil's hot, you put a chopstick in, and you see how bubbles form around it. So that lets you know that your oil's hot and you can put your chicken in. So we put all our veggies in and let them just like simmer for a moment, cook in the oil, get a bit brown, and then we'll add around 600 mils of water it will say on the back of your box. You add the water and then you just let that cook and leave it there. It's really easy. Okay, so the clips you're about to see were actually filmed in my house over the summer because someone just walked in my kitchen and I did not have the confidence to keep filming when they walked in. But luckily I had filmed parts of this before when explaining it to a friend. So I have clips for everything. But yeah, so the parts you're about to see are filmed in my house. After like 15 minutes or so, you poke your potatoes and they're soft, and you poke your carrot, soft. Okay, so now everything's cooked. Now I add a bit more water at this point because I like the curry a bit more thin, because if it's too thick it makes me feel sick. And then I like to break the packet in 4 so that when you pull it open they're like 4 separate cubes instead of 1 fat cube, because I feel like it's easier to work with. And then you take it off the heat, so I turned my fire off, yay. And then I'm gonna just put them in. Cassie, that's my dog, sorry.
I love you, Cassie.
Okay, sorry. I'm gonna have to move you. Moving back, moving back. It's coming back forward.
Chicken.
Woo!
It's cooking.
Yeah. Okay, so what I find is, because it can get really lumpy if you just use a spoon to mix this in. So I found innovative solutions and I use a whisk because, like, so long as you're careful, you're not gonna whisk any of your ingredients like into pieces or anything. That's not an issue. But you do this off the heat because the minute the katsu like tablet, I don't know. So you see how there's like not much sauce, so I'm gonna add more water afterwards. But you want to wait until, so once it's all mixed in, this tablet of katsu paste, I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, once it's all mixed in, and be careful because it will like stick to vegetables. Why am I talking so long? Anyway, it'll stick to your vegetables, so you just want to make sure it's all mixed in. And then you turn the heat back on.
I'm sorry, can I get your
It's okay. You turn the heat back on and stir it for like 5 minutes for it to thicken, so you can get an idea of what the final texture is. And then you can add more water if you find it too thick. And I like veggies, and I really fucking like peas. Sorry, I really like peas. So I add peas.
I love peas so much.
I really like peas.
I love them.
I add peas at this stage because I just really enjoy them, and you don't get much vegetable with a katsu curry. So yeah, we're nearly at the end.
Next step.
I'm gonna put it in. The rice is done. Can't see it.
Yes.
Rice done. And then the curry is done.
Is it still soaking wet?
No, and it never was. And then this is a giant pile of. This is a giant pile of katsu chicken. And I'm not gonna show you the curry because it's gonna pour and spill. So yeah, time to serve. The presentation is not my priority here. But yeah.
Looks really good.
Thank you. Yeah, success. Teaching Maya how to make katsu because she can make the curry, just not the katsu.